In this week's Forex forecast, we're going to be looking at all of the important supply and demand zones created by the large institutions and the banks in order to help you with your trading this week. All right, starting things off with the US dollar index. The past week, the institutions got rid of 2,300 longs and they got rid of 902 shorts. They still remain very bullish, as well as the call reports do. And as you can see, this is a daily chart. We have still that beautiful daily uptrend is holding. We are contacting this daily area of demand. It pushed in deeper, and now it's had a strong move out of here. I've been talking about this daily area of demand for a long time now. You can go back and watch my past weekly Forex forecasts and see for yourself. My target for the US dollar index is 94.8 if you are looking to go long. Depending, if you're trading EURUSD or whatever, you can look to take profits at 94.8. In my opinion, that's where the US dollar index is going to go if we continue this bullishness. As you can see on the 4-hour chart, we had a 4-hour downtrend that was very clean. But Friday, we had a huge rally in the US dollar, and we broke this supply. Now we have a flip zone right here, so we could see a pullback like that, and then a push up and hopefully go to that 94.8 like I talked about. So definitely keep an eye out on this 4-hour flip zone here. It's very possible we see something like this where it taps it and then we go up from there. And keep in mind, we are in 4-hour supply right now, so that is what could happen. We have already reacted off of this, and I had this zone for the members, so definitely keep an eye out for that flip zone there on the DXY. EURUSD, the past week, the institutions added 3,500 longs and they also added 2,700 short positions. And first, really quick, I wanted to show you guys this weekly chart here. And as you can see to the left, there is nothing really on this weekly chart that can stop price. If you look at this candle here, there's really no price action here. So to me, to get to 1.137, which is my target to the downside, is very easy to accomplish. It doesn't mean it's going to go straight down, but I think that getting down to here is very possible. So that's my target on the euro to the downside, and my target to the upside would be 1.175 at this monthly area of supply. So for now on the euro, we're either going to continue down to this monthly, weekly area of demand, or we're going to rally back up and hit my target and go to that monthly area of supply where I think we will see more downward pressure on the euro. So that, I just wanted to show you guys that quick on the weekly chart. Looking at the daily chart, this daily supply zone here that I talked about reacted very nicely off of it on Friday. So now, to me, it's all downside here on the euro. I see no evidence of buyers stepping in. If you go to a 4-hour chart, kind of the same thing as the DXY. We have a flip zone right here. We could see a move up and a reaction down like that. So certainly keep eye on this flip zone at about 1.158, and it ends at about 1.161. So definitely keep an eye out for that flip zone. You could definitely look for 15-minute confirmation in here as well. I think that would be fine for a move to the downside. What I'm personally waiting for is for this support and resistance area and demand to be removed, and then I'll hop down to a 15-minute chart and sell pullbacks all the way down to that weekly target that I showed you guys at 1.137. On to Aussie dollar. The past week, the banks added 5,800 longs and they also added 5,000 shorts. They do remain 84% short, which is very weird on this pair because, as you can see, we have a very clean daily uptrend right here. I'm still kind of waiting for price to pull back to this daily area of demand, but we might not get it. And what you're going to have to look for that is come over to this 4-hour chart. This 4-hour uptrend was kind of tested down here. We broke demand here. And now we are left with 4-hour supply, which I do not put any weight on. You could look for 15-minute confirmation in there, but I don't recommend it. This trend is very strong. You'd be trading counter trend against a daily trend. So in my opinion, we're actually going to peak above it, where then I will look for 15-minute pullbacks and go to the upside from there. My target is 0.766 to the upside, and that is a weekly area of supply right up here. In my opinion, the only clean supply zone we have is right up here on the daily chart at 0.76. So if I do get in long, profits would have to be taken at 0.766. And I'm basically going to be trading with the trend on this one. If you look at a 1-hour chart, we've had a shift in momentum here barely, and we are reacting off that supply, but I do think the bulls will start to pick it up again and push price higher. So that is what I'm waiting for on the Aussie dollar. All right, on to the British pound. The past week, the institutions got rid of 1,300 longs and they got rid of 9,000 short positions. If you look at a weekly chart here, you can see I have two targets. I have a short target at 1.334 and I have a long target at 1.402. We're right in the middle of demand and supply, so it's very difficult to tell where price is going to go. So we're going to have to look on a lower time frame to see. In my opinion, right now, this overall daily downtrend that we see here, like this, it's still kind of in play, even though it's kind of sideways if you kind of just look at price in this section right here. But to me, it looks like we're going to be retracing down to this daily area of demand at 1.3618. So certainly keep an eye out for that there. In my opinion, there's not much going on in this chart right now. We have a 4-hour sideways / downtrend. But this is a very tested area of demand right here, so we could easily see this break through to the downside. If you go to a 1-hour chart, same thing, we're reacting off of this 1-hour demand down here. So when all of this breaks, I'm going to be looking at a 4-hour, 1-hour, 15-minute time frame sequence, shorting 15-minute pullbacks down to that target of 1.334. And that's where, profits should be taken if you do get in short here. And that's, in my opinion, that's the highest odds thing to do, kind of based on how this daily chart is looking. I definitely won't be taking any shorts at this daily area of supply. So if I can get in short right now, right around here, I'll probably take profits before this daily demand, and then I'll wait to see if that daily demand breaks, and then I'll hop in short to ride to my target down here at 1.334. And then, if I start to see buyers step up at this daily area of demand on a 1-hour chart, 1-hour confirmation, then maybe I'll hop in long to the upside with a target of 1.402. Okay, USDCAD. The past week, the institutions got rid of 8,647 longs and they added 5,500 short positions. This is a daily chart of USDCAD, and in my opinion, it's a very simple concept looking at this chart. We are either going to retrace back to this daily area of supply and possibly push down lower, or we're just going to turn around and push down here. My targets for short positions are 1.22 all the way down here at this daily area of demand, and obviously there's more profit margin to the short side. If you are trying to get in long, which I don't really recommend right now, the profit margin is very slim at 1.244 just before this daily area of supply. So now we're going to hop down to a 4-hour chart to see what's going on there. And looking at this 4-hour chart, we had nice upper momentum. It was looking like buyers were stepping up, but then all of a sudden, boom, like that on the USDCAD. And now we are reacting off of this 4-hour supply zone right here. So either this supply zone is going to hold and we're going to push down lower, or we're going to basically peak right above it, right to this daily area of supply that's right above that I just showed you, and then push down. That is what I think is going to happen on the USDCAD. So definitely keep an eye out on this 4-hour supply zone. If you want, you could be looking for a 15-minute confirmation coming out of this 4-hour supply zone. If you don't know what confirmation is, check out my trading tips playlist. It shows exactly what I look for confirmations. So definitely keep an eye out on this 4-hour supply zone. Basically, the whole USDCAD price action is going to revolve around if this 4-hour supply zone actually holds or if it ends up falling through. USDCHF, the Swiss franc. The past week, the institutions added 676 longs and they got rid of 1,000 short positions here. They still remain 94% long, but we've lost this daily upward trend momentum. Clearly, momentum has shifted to the downside. We are almost breaking this upward trend line, but we have broken a significant demand level right here on the daily chart. And looks like we came up, barely could touch it, and then price pushed down. So in my opinion, I'm very bearish the USD Swiss. Even though the institutions are 94% long, I have to trade with the charts. So my target to the downside, looking at this daily chart, will be 0.902. So what I'm personally waiting for to get in short here, there is a 4-hour supply zone right here. You could certainly look for 15-minute confirmation coming out of this 4-hour supply zone. I think that would be okay. But what I'm personally waiting for is for this 4-hour demand at 0.911. All or sorry, 0.912 to be broken like that, and then I'll be on a 15-minute chart and shorting pullbacks all the way down to this target of 0.902. So that is what I think is the safest bet on USD Swiss. Like I said, you could look for 15-minute confirmation on here, but I like to trade away from trend lines like this because a lot of retail traders are trading around there. So I like to stay away from that, but I think it's fine if you want to look for that. And just keep in mind that target is, there's a lot of profit margin to the downside on this pair. And then, you know, if price does push up, break this 4-hour supply zone like this, then in my opinion, we're probably going to be going higher on the USD Swiss. And if that happens, then the next place we're going, looking at the daily chart, is back up to this daily area of supply. So it's possible that the banks might push price up to 0.923 to this daily supply area again and fill in more short orders to the downside. Or, you know, if that happens, we'll have to wait to see if this daily supply is going to break, and then maybe we will start to see more pressure to the upside, but that's for next week's forecast. All right, USDJPY, the Japanese yen. The past week, the banks added a whopping 76 longs, and they got rid of 4,200 short positions. They are 81% long. Keep in mind, this is a very interesting chart. We are looking at the weekly chart here. We are reacting off of this weekly area of supply, so that's why we are seeing some downward pressure on the yen. But there is weekly demand and monthly demand much lower, which is basically this whole area right here, where we could easily see the institutions start filling in buying orders right there again. Looking at the daily chart on the yen, we are in daily demand. It's looking very weak though. We had that initial reaction, and then now we're going deeper. So in my opinion, it's looking very weak. And since we are reacting off of weekly supply right up here, weekly supply is much stronger than daily demand. So it's very possible that we could break to the downside. Now, downward targets, if you're trying to short this pair, I personally would wait for this daily demand to be removed first. But if you are trying to get in short, an easy target would be 112. And if you're looking to get in long, an easy target would be basically 116, but you can even, to be safe, put it at about 115.6. I think that would be much safer right before this daily area of supply. So in my opinion, it's all going to be revolving around this daily demand. Is it going to hold or is it going to break? So what I would do is I'd be going on a 4-hour chart like this. Clearly we have 4-hour downward momentum. Either this momentum is going to hold to the downside and then we will be going down to that target at 112, or we will break to the upside like this, which means that this daily area of demand will hold, and then we can see more bullishness on this pair. So in my opinion, I'm basically going to wait to short it, but if we start to see this downward momentum break like this to the upside, then I'll probably be interested in getting long trades in on a 4-hour chart, maybe looking for 15-minute confirmation. So that's what I'm looking for on USD yen. It's pretty much all revolving around that daily chart and this 4-hour downward momentum. Is it going to break or is it going to hold? We'll have to wait to find out. All right, on to gold. The past week, the institutions added 1,300 longs and they got rid of 6,400 shorts. They are still 74% long. We started to see some bullish pressure like this on the daily chart. We had new daily demand that was created right here. Now it's spiked through at the close on Friday. So now it's all a matter of, we're going to see price push higher or not. And what I'm going to be looking for is this 4-hour chart. We had nice 4-hour momentum up like this, and it has now broken. We broke a upward trend line that was very significant and a significant area of 4-hour demand. So now it looks like we are possibly going to be retracing up to this 4-hour supply zone. This is not a bad area to look for 15-minute confirmation in on this 4-hour area of supply at 1792.5. So you could certainly look for 15-minute confirmation like that and then see some pressure to the downside. Or, if this doesn't give you confirmation and we break through, then in my opinion, gold will probably be going much higher to the 1820s, 1822 up there. That's where I could see gold going. But, there's really not much movement on this daily chart. It's still kind of sideways price action, so it's not very, very clear. I'm personally not really trading gold right now. But like I said, you could definitely look for that 15-minute confirmation coming off of this 4-hour area of supply. And if you do, You know, my target would probably be like 1770 right on the dot. That's kind of where I would put my target, just to be safe, right? There's a lot of buying that's taking place down here, so we could easily see a reaction like that. And, you know, like I said, if this breaks up here, then gold's probably going much higher. All right, last but certainly not least, crude oil. The past week, the institutions got rid of 15,000 long positions, and they also got rid of 9,000 short positions, but they still remain very bullish on this pair at 81% long. We've seen a reaction from this daily supply that I've had for the Patreon and the YouTube members for a while now, and we're seeing a reaction down to this daily demand. And we are reacting very nicely off of it. So the bulls are picking up oil again, in my opinion. My target to the long side, I would not be shorting oil right now, but my target to the long side is 87.5, and that is just one of my targets. I do have an ultimate target of $100 a barrel, but that is just the midterm target looking at the daily chart. Now, onto the 4-hour chart. We had beautiful 4-hour momentum like this to the upside, beautiful 4-hour trend, but then all of a sudden, boom, we had a big sell-off in oil right here at 83.76. We broke 3 areas of demand, and we broke an upward trend line. And now we are reacting off of the 4-hour zone that is responsible for that. So you could be looking for 15-minute shorts to the downside. If you do get in short here looking for confirmation, I would consider taking profits very early at 1-to-1, 2-to-1, because we are on that weekly uptrend. So what I'm personally waiting for on oil, I'm not going to be looking for confirmation in here. I'm personally going to be waiting for a new high to be formed, which would create an overall new 4-hour uptrend like that. And then I'll be day trading that on the 15-minute chart, and my target would be at 87.5. So in my opinion, oil still very bullish, and keep in mind we are coming off of daily demand right now. Looking at a weekly chart for more long term, there's really not much that can stop it up to here. So, you know, my second target would essentially be right up here at 92. That would be my ultimate second target, but it's very possible we could see more bearishness to the downside, and we could be retracing back to this weekly area of demand. We're just going to basically have to see and watch this 4-hour supply zone right here. To me, it's all revolving around this 4-hour supply zone. We're either going to hold, push lower, or we're going to break and push higher to 87.5. Hopefully you guys found this weekly Forex forecast helpful. If you did, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. Leave a like and check out the Patreon or YouTube membership if you need help finding your supply and demand zones. It's only $5 CAD per month. Hope to see you guys there, and hope to see you in the next video.